Hi, and welcome to Games Extra Point. I'm your boy, Big Game James from Big Game Sports Buzz. And I got a couple things that I need to get off my chest. So, what better place than doing it than my Extra Point? So, Monday this week in the NFL was known as Black Monday. That's the first Monday after the regular season where teams start to fire coaches and general managers who maybe they didn't have the success that they wanted them to have this past season. There was a firing that took place that made me scratch my head just a little bit, and that was Miami Dolphins firing their coach, Brian Flores. Now, Dolphins have the right to do what they want to do. And a friend of mine made a comment to me and said, well, Rooney Rule, they'll get a chance to get another job. For you guys that don't know what the Rooney Rule is, it's a rule that was established, I believe, around 2002, 2003, around that time, sometime a while back. And the Rooney Rule was put in place to assure that minority coaching candidates, mainly African Americans, had the same chance to interview for NFL jobs as their Caucasian counterparts. Um, there's a couple things that bothered me about that, just in general. And like I said, this is my extra point, so it's my opinion. First of all, to have a rule in place to assure that a person that is supposed to be a qualified candidate gets an interview already tells you that it's messed up and it's not going to work. Um, I've seen the likes of too many successful coaches get their careers cut short um, because, quote unquote, it didn't work out for the team the way they wanted it to. But yet you see people not of color come in and get another chance over and over and over again. Uh, Josh McDaniels is a guy that comes to mind to me when I think of that point because he left New England as their offensive coordinator, went to Denver, got fired there, back to New England. New England's having success again. He gets offered another job. And then all of a sudden he leaves Indianapolis standing at the altar and decides that it wasn't the right spot for him. But his name still comes up today about being a top candidate for a head coaching job. Um, in 2022, you would hope that a coach would be judged solely on his ability to coach and motivate. An NFL head coach is nothing but a motivator and a facilitator. Your position coaches do majority of your work along with your coordinators, right? So 80% of your league can be a people of color, but not 1% of your leaders. I think the biggest problem for a lot of people is your coach becomes the face of your franchise along the side of your stars. And let's just face it, a lot of these owners are still not ready for the face of their franchise to be a person of color. It's just that simple. That's the truth. Um, and if that wasn't the truth, we wouldn't have a Rooney Rule. We would have the most qualified person get the job that's out there to be had. I believe Flores is going to get another job. He's already getting ready to interview with the Houston Texans. And to go 7-1 in your last 8 games, being faced with injuries and still missing key components on that team to really, really compete in that division shows that, you know, even with the winning record, a coach of color can be fired. Look at Jim Caldwell in Detroit. Caldwell was let go. Matt Patricia was brought in. Players hated him. He had no idea how to run a team. He tried to come at grown men like a college style coach might come at him. Didn't work for him. Didn't work at all. They ran him out of town. There's a way you do things, a way you handle things. But at what point in time, if I don't have a losing record and you can still get rid of me, what real chance do I have to go in and do what my counterparts are doing to show that I can be successful, to show that I can be like Mike Tomlin? Mike Tomlin is the only active African American coach right now. And we shouldn't have to come out and say that, but we do because it's the truth right now. I had a friend ask me one day, Big Game, did you ever think about getting into coaching? And I was like, no. And he said, why not? What's the point? If the ultimate goal for me is to be a head coach and a leader, but I'm never going to get a chance to exhibit that trait that I have, why even bother going for a position where I'm going to be capped at being a position coach and a coordinator at best. That's telling me that there's no need for me to put my best foot forward because I'm not going to get rewarded on what I'm capable of doing. It's 2022. This has been going on far, far too long. There shouldn't have to be a rule in place for a person of color who's probably bled on that football field, put the work in the office to become successful at coaching to never get a real opportunity. And then some of the opportunities that are given are set up for failures. You know, every job is not going to be a good job. Sometimes you get a job and now you're going to micromanage me. You're going to tell me who I can or can't bring in, who I can or can't hire, and this is what you think I should do. There still needs to be a lot of change that goes on. The Rooney Rule is simply something put into place for the good old boy system to say, hey, we covered our bases. Now let's get on to doing what we want to do and hire who we want to hire. And that's exactly what's going on. It makes me mad every time I have to sit back and talk about it and think about it, that there's so many qualified candidates that are never going to get a chance to become head coaches. Or if they do, it might be one chance and then they're one and done if they don't have the success that the GM or the owner sees fit. And everyone's going to have a different definition of success. But if Jim Caldwell can get fired with a winning record, then what is your definition of success? Games Extra Point is brought to you by Fat Boy Coffee. Fat Boy Coffee, don't let the fat fool you. Don't forget to tune in Thursdays to Big Game Sports Buzz when me and my co-host Jay Stoggs go live, hitting on all sports topics that's hot around the sports world. We bring you the aspect of the fanatic, Jay Stoggs, and the pro, Big Game. I'm Big Game James. This has been my Extra Point.